Go. 24 hours to go till the 2010 Winter Games kick off. Vancouver Island may not have any athletes in the games, but we're doing our part.
Yeah, there's a little tingle of pride that goes through when I see it.
And signs people are embracing the games all over BC and up and down the island.
Now, Vancouver Island's most watched newscast, Chek News. Here's Scott Feb.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. We are 24 hours away from the opening ceremonies of the 2010 Winter Games in Vancouver. We'll take you live to downtown Vancouver in just a moment, but first, a piece of history here on the island tonight. The Prime Minister of Canada addressed the Legislative Assembly of BC. This is a first in this province's history. No other PM has ever done this. Stephen Harper's underlined message for the people of Canada to cheer on our athletes and embrace the Olympics. And they are not just Vancouver and Whistler's games, but the whole country's. As expected, there were some protesters outside on the legislative grounds. A couple hundred people, however, it was a peaceful demonstration. Outside of BC right now, the Olympics are making headlines after 30 athletes were banned from these upcoming games after testing positive for drugs. We'll have more on that in just a moment. But first, we take you to the heart of the games in downtown Vancouver, high above Robson Square, where we are joined by Chek News reporter Paul Haysom, who is having another tough day on the job. Paul?
Yeah, another tough assignment. It is raining quite hard here at the Robson Square, but morale is high for myself and most of the people who have come here to take part in tonight's festivities, which include some fireworks just around 9 o'clock. A busy day, especially for some Victoria connections. Steve Nash running with the torch today. Trevor Linden also ran with the torch. But as I said, the Olympic bug is catching Vancouver.
The rain is out, but the mood isn't dampened as Vancouver is getting set for the biggest party in the world.
I think it's starting. I think you can feel a bit of a buzz starting to build, and
Really?
Yeah.
Even despite the rain?
Despite the rain, I mean, we're Vancouverites.
It looks like a lot of people are having fun already. Tourists are coming out too. Looks like it's going to be fun.
The city has been transformed into an Olympic wonderland. Store windows and buildings are all getting on board, and it's hard not to be swept up in it all.
Every storefront has flags and Canada maple leaf things just everywhere, so it's pretty cool.
While the games haven't officially kicked off, the party unofficially has. In the evening, the streets are jam-packed with people as Vanok already has live performances and events that go throughout the day.
There's a lot of fun things to do here in Vancouver during the Olympics, including the Whistler Zip Trek guys setting up this zip line across Robson Square. I'm going to give it a whirl. Let's see how it goes.
Vancouver Island may not have any athletes participating in the games, but Alan Wrigley works at Pacific Sport in Victoria and is a biomechanist with the Canadian Mogul team. Wrigley is staying in the athletes' village and says all the athletes are getting pretty excited for the start of the games.
Absolutely, everything is coming down, and yeah, I think everyone's excited. They're happy. Everyone's doing really well, so there's lots to be excited about.
One thing you do notice is the amount of media that are here in Vancouver. It's expected over 10,000 different outlets will be covering these games. So what do they think of the city so far?
It's minus 10 or 12 in Moscow. It's brilliant to have this winter, such a warm winter here in Vancouver.
Atmosphere in the city itself, people are friendly and the architecture is great.
Yes, the town is certainly a buzz, and it only promises to get better as the biggest party in the world officially kicks off Friday night.
Now, Scott, not everyone has the Olympic bug. There are some protesters right here around Robson Square, just in front of the art gallery, in fact, and you can almost see them just over my shoulder. They are protesting. Don't know if they're anti-Olympic protesters, but they're definitely protesting. Now, an anti-Olympic rally is set for 3 p.m. tomorrow at this art gallery, but for the most part, everyone is catching another kind of bug for this Olympics. Scott?
All right, sounds good, Paul. Try and enjoy yourself. Thanks a lot.
I will.
With less than 2 days to start of the competition, more than 30 athletes have already been banned from the Olympic Games after failing doping tests. The World Anti-Doping Agency made the announcement today, but wouldn't give any of the athletes' names, countries, or even the sport they were planning to compete in. The Canadian Olympic Committee says none of our athletes were on the list. The Anti-Doping Agency says it's now much more difficult to get away with drug use.
What has occurred over the last few years and continues to occur in this evolution is that we're getting better. Anti-doping agencies are getting better. The weaponry that's being used is far more effective. We're now seeing everywhere people focusing on quality, not quantity.
They are the iconic symbols of the 2010 Winter Olympics. The Olympic rings lighting up Vancouver's Inner Harbour and YVR will be seen by billions of people worldwide. And as Kristen Robinson reports, the rings are designed, built and powered by Vancouver Island companies.
Outside this small Saanich warehouse, the power source for some very large Olympic symbols was created.
These were the exact units used in our hybrid projects here.
On a tight deadline, Kevin Pegg and his team designed and tested a unique hybrid power system. Built in an empty container, Energy Alternatives assembled all the components in less than 4 weeks. The portable power project was shipped to Vancouver and transported to a barge floating in Cole Harbour. Their tiny container houses all the green energy needed to illuminate the Olympic rings.
Without the hybrid system, the generator would have been running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. With the hybrid system, it starts and stops based on demand. So there's a dramatic reduction in the amount of diesel fuel burned.
3, 2, 1.
Officially lit last November by the Premier, the rings are one of 2 sets that will shine throughout the Winter Games.
Light the rings, Dave.
Near Vancouver International Airport, the other 5 Olympic rings are welcoming thousands of visitors to the Games. Both sets were designed in Sydney at EB Engineering's warehouse. They stand 14 meters tall and 29 meters wide. A contractual agreement prevents the head engineer from talking about his lights, but he did appear in a YVR promotional video.
I think the coolest thing about this project is the sheer quantity of lights. So we can literally create 16 million different colors, as well as the founding colors, so red, green, blue.
Each Olympic ring has 150 lamps, each containing 36 multicolored LEDs. With crossovers, that adds up to 26,712 LEDs in each set of 5 rings. You'd be amazed to know how much it would cost to run all of the uber green lights for 12 hours every night.
Right, that would be every LED on plus the white. Then it'll be about $100 a month.
A cost-efficient claim to fame for Vancouver Islanders.
Yeah, there's a little tingle of pride that goes through when I see it. Yeah, we helped with that. It feels good.
Metro Vancouver is dealing with its first security scare of the 2010 Games. A phone call about a suspicious package shut down a major transportation system just after 2 this afternoon. Police received a call about a package at a major transit hub on the North Shore. Police shut down the C-Bus terminal in North Vancouver's Lawrence